Hey everybody, welcome to another Timeless Pick a Card reading where we're going to be asking today of our shadows, where do we feel guilt? You're going to have a choice between 3 different readings. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to call this the black feather. We'll call this one the white feather and this one the blue feather. You can pick as many as you want. I will have timestamps for all of them listed in the description box below, so it's easy for you to jump to one of the others if you want to jump to those, but we're going to start with the black feather first. If you chose reading number 1, which we're calling the black feather, which is actually this beautiful black and blue, I think it's kind of a rooster feather if I remember correctly, but it's this beautiful color. But this is your reading, and as I mentioned, we are going to connect with our shadow to find out what we have guilt that we're carrying. Our shadow is like a piece of ourselves. It is the tour guide that helps us through this amazing journey we are in this amusement park of fear rides, right? So it basically, because it's the tour guide, it knows what's going on underneath the surface and behind the scenes, and so we can ask it for some details that will help us alter our journey. So we're going to look at that. Now we're going to start off here by looking at these soul truth cards. Any of the cards I use in a reading I do list in the description box below. We'll give these a shuffle and see first what they'd like us to know about this guilt. Where do we feel guilt? All right, so for those that chose reading number 1, okay, boom. And it's what if it isn't true? Then I'll show you the back too, and I'll read that. Sorry for the glare there. Maybe that's a little better. But it says, the thing you are telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong, you can't do it, you won't go there, you're not enough, or it's not for you. What if it wasn't true? Today's soul action, it says it's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within you, what if it wasn't true? What else might be possible? And then journal your answer. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? So what is true? What is really true? So this guilt is about understanding what belief, there's some guilt around something, and they want you to see the truth around a matter so that you can release this guilt. So I love where this is headed. We're also going to use these Power of Surrender cards and see what else they'd like to add. But yeah, so this guilty thing, it's almost like they're showing me someone who's falsely accused, like framed in court, and what you are deeming yourself guilty of is a false accusation, is what I'm seeing. So let's see, what else for those that chose reading number 1, please? Okay, I do want that one right here. And you have the surrender to your full power. I love it. This reminds me of the Strength card in the Major Arcana. It says your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So this guilt, both these combinations, right? This is instead of giving in and taking the plea deal, even though you're innocent. It's like, no, that's what someone who's playing it small does. It says you're going big, and you're really going to understand your power as you understand this guilt and understand what's beneath the surface of this. So I really, really, really like where this is headed. There's a lot of freedom that's coming, a lot of power that's coming in. We're also going to use these Light Seers Tarot to get some more details. So let me give these a shuffle, get the energy activated. Have it align with all of you, number 1 individuals. All right, so what else for these that chose reading number 1? Okay, so they do want those 2 and these 2. Oh, these 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So these will be the ones that we will look at here. And then they also want me to do this one right now. So we will shuffle this up. And one more time. All right. So what's the final message going to be? Okay, they do want this one right here. So we'll put that one right there. So we've got all those, but they do want me to start with this one here. You have the Emperor, taking the power over your life. You're not someone who's at the whim of everyone else. This is you really becoming stable and stepping up for yourself and realizing that you are the one that has the power. You're the one that is in control of that, of this situation, of the guilt, of the judgment that's being passed. Let me see what else we have here. 7 of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passion. But you can see how you have this protective bubble around, and people are trying to poke at your bubble, and they're trying to get you to burst your bubble. But you're in this wonderful place. This card usually is about you don't have to defend yourself. And what a perfect example in the court of law. It's like you don't have to defend yourself because you're not guilty. And so you're having this clarity that's coming in. These other people are, come down here and be miserable with the rest of us. Why are you being in that little peaceful place and sitting there the way you are? So let's get some more details here. So when I mentioned that this card reminds me of the Strength card in the Major Arcana, here you go. I love the way they do this too, because usually they'll have like a maiden separate from the lion. Here they have like this beautiful combination, because both of these, the maiden in these represents our higher self, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that we are. And in that, you're understanding these higher truths. You're understanding who the eternal being is. And then you have your little animal. The animal represents our human side. And in the story that Spirit gave me around the Strength card here, basically the lion comes down here to live out this human experience. It comes down with a hunger and a thirst, though. And like all of us, we're told to look out here for that which will fill us up and make us feel whole and take away our thirst. So we try relationships, we try situations like jobs, education, social status. We try things like our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, and all those things do not fulfill this lion. It actually makes him even more thirsty, even more hungry, to the point that he's desperate, and he becomes this roaring lion in the jungle, that he's just so hangry. He's hungry, angry. Well, in the beginning, our lion self does not have this awareness of our higher self. It has the smallness. It thinks it's small, and so it's, doing all that roaring. But our higher self is always aware of our human side, that shadow side of us, the human ego, all this humanness. And because it hears us roaring, it comes down to aid us, and it doesn't come down to kill us and put us out of our misery. It doesn't come down to kill the lion. It doesn't come down to cage the lion to protect other people from it, or try to manipulate or control the lion like they do in a circus with a whip and a chair and all that, because our higher self knows what the lion is really searching for is the unconditional love from above, from where it comes. And it's not finding it out here in the outside world, but it's very convenient that our higher self is made of that unconditional love. There's a lot of wonderful strength cards where it shows the, maiden hugging and loving on the lion, giving it the love that it's really looking for. And then the roaring lion becomes this purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling the wholeness, feeling the completeness for the first time in its life, feeling the love that it's been hungering and thirsting for. Now, this fits into all this that's going on here, is because as you connect to your higher self and you see the higher realms of unconditional love, you suddenly understand the truth, the capital T truths of the higher realms. And then you understand that these small t truths that are actually convicting you, accusing you, are man-made out of fear. And so these self-accusations, or if other people were accusing you, and that's where your guilt is coming in, you start to see the bigger picture and understand what's really going on behind the scenes. So if you feel guilty because, oh, I'm responsible because I made them feel that way, one of the big capital T truths is you realize that you are not choosing other people's emotions for them. We all have the power to choose our own emotions. It's our power of choice. We choose what story we put to any situation. We are the ones that choose what emotion we want to go through. And so we're responsible for our own emotions, but we can't be in control of anyone else's. Now, we can influence other people and make it a harder or an easier choice for them to choose love or fear, but ultimately we can't choose for them. And so there's this awareness that comes in, this taking charge of your own life, getting in this bubble, understanding who you are, taking responsibility for your own emotions. You're letting yourself be free, and you're no longer convicting yourself and judging yourself so harshly because you see these higher truths. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah. 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands is you've carried the burden long enough and you're ready to let it go. 10 is endings and new beginnings. So you're ready to stop investing your energy in this old guilt, these old burdensome feelings, these accusations, and you're ready to invest your energy in a new adventure instead. Yeah, and 6 of Cups. So 6 of Cups, cups are emotions, and it's the nostalgia card, and it's all about looking back over your memories and transforming them. And really, when you realize that every moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love of the human, so higher love or human love, then you realize that as you go back and look at situations, that a memory, if it's not a memory that's full of unconditional love, then it's a memory that has fear in it, right? And that's where all that guilt comes in. Fear of not being good enough, fear of doing something wrong, fear of being judged and, rejected, whatever it might be, right? But when you realize that the human side, the lion, right, when it is in fear, it goes into fight or flight mode. And when it goes into fight or flight mode, it does not think clearly. In fact, our human body doesn't want us to think at all. It will rush blood out of our brain to our arms and to our legs to fight or to run, and become animalistic in a way where we are looking to feel safe again and to feel in control again. And those things really, because there's blood rushing out of our brain, we are going out of our minds. We're not making logical choices or loving choices. We're making very animalistic, reactionary choices instead. So when you go back and look at all these feelings and these emotions and these memories where there's this guilt that you're carrying, you can realize that, oh, I was acting out of my mind, or they were acting out of their minds, or both of us, or all of us, if there's more than 2 of you involved in it, we're in fear and acting out of our minds. And then you start looking at the situation differently, you start looking at other people differently, and you start looking at yourself differently as well. And so this is where that guilt is released instead. And then you have the awakening of your genius. So when you come back to this place of unconditional love, you are very, very smart. You're no longer out of your mind. You're coming back into this wonderful place of understanding and wisdom and clarity, those capital T truths like I was talking about. So this is the spirit of creative expression. It brings forth new information and birthing, knowing that your ideas matter. And it says the ancient Greeks believed that each person had a specific genius that acted like a spirit guide, inspiring you with new ideas to further your evolution as an individual, as well as the evolution of all humanity. You could say that genius is the spirit of creative expression, and when you tune into it, amazing things happen. When your genius awakens, you realize you do not have to do everything yourself. You have an inspired, dedicated, wise helper on your side. Today, can you imagine cultivating a playful relationship with this extraordinary spirit? If you can, you'll recognize that you don't have to solve every problem with only the knowledge, memories, and experiences you've already accrued. Your intellect in this case serves as a channel for this spirit of genius, and it can filter in new information. How you forge this connection is to get out of your own way and simply allow it to work through you. The word genius comes from the Latin Gignere. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that, meaning to bring forth or birth, and shares the same root as the word generate. You are, at this moment, about to give birth to a new mode of expression, and a powerful one at that. Commit to partnering with your genius, and only deep satisfaction and success will result. Today is the day when your inspired ideas matter. And I love that because this is your upper genius, right? Connecting to your higher self, your capital S self, you connect to these beautiful, amazing truths. And with this guilt being released, all that energy that you were investing, maintaining that guilt, maintaining your conviction, maintaining your sentencing in your head, you're setting yourself free, and you're allowing yourself this beautiful bubble to where this creativity then comes in, because you're not in this place of fear with all that blood out of your brain. You're coming back into your mind, your beautiful, beautiful genius mind. You're going to have this creativity that comes in, this beautiful ideas, this passion, and this energy. You're going to be using it in this direction instead of the guilty plea. So I love this for you, all of you that chose number 1. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these videos, I also put out weekly energy updates for each individual zodiac sign, monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get a notification as soon as they are available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and by clicking the subscribe button, you're given access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there's an option for all. And if you click on that, then you're going to be immediately notified of any new videos that do come out on my channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the Zen love, and it also helps my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share a video of mine, when you subscribe to my channel or comment on any of my videos, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so crazy excited it wants to automatically share my videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I am ever so grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings. And my recorded personal readings actually have a beautiful sliding price scale, which means you can choose between 3 different price points for the same type of reading, so you can choose one that is in more alignment with your budget at the time. So it offers some great flexibility. And if you're interested in any of that, it's all listed in the description box of this video below. All right, all of you that chose number 1, as you go through this amazing setting free, what is it? Your case is dismissed. You're free of all charges. As you're going through that, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing adventure. I'm sure we'll be talking soon. In the meantime, though, you hang in there and you take care. And if you chose reading number 2, which I'm calling the white feather, but it's this beautiful gray and white, beautiful feather, then this is the reading for you. We're going to put that up here. And as I mentioned, we're going to be asking our shadow, what it would like us to know about where do we feel guilt in our life. Now, our shadow is like our tour guide. It's a part of ourself that's helping us go through this giant amusement park of fear rides. And because it's the tour guide, it knows what's going on underneath the surface and behind the scenes. And so we can ask it for details that it will tell us. And it allows us to transform our journey and approach it in a different way than we ever would. Now, we're going to start off by pulling from these Soul Truth cards to see where it wants to start off in approaching this guilt. All right. So for those that chose reading number 2, Shadow, what would you like us to know? Whoa. A lot of guilt. Oh my goodness. But this is the one they want. Do you have, what else could this mean? And look at the feather on there. Okay. Yeah, it looks quite similar. And then on the back, I'll let you see this and then I'll read it as well. Sorry for the glare there. And it says, there are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. So look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? And today's soul action says, is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Yeah, so what else could this mean? I love this because I kind of feel like this reading is more about how you are holding someone else accountable for something in your life. Like you are feeling like they should feel guilty and you're projecting this guilt on this other situation. And they're asking you to step into their shoes and see what's going on. But let's take a look here. We'll get more detail. And we're going to use these Power of Surrender cards to find out what they would like to add to that. So what else could this mean? All right. So for those that chose reading number 2, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay. That's the one right here. And you have surrender the idea you can fix someone. All right. So this does sound like someone else. And it says it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So, yeah, I see where this is kind of going here, because there's this mirror effect that's happening here where you're holding someone else guilty. You know, you've condemned them for something that they've done. And you're trying to fix them to make sure they don't do these things again because they should be feeling guilty about it. But really, it's a mirror reflecting back to you, showing you something that you actually feel guilty about on the inside. It may not be the exact same thing, but it's the same type of expression. I'll give you an example. Let's see. So let's say that we look at someone who keeps staying in an abusive relationship, and we're like, you shouldn't be doing that. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to do this and da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And so we have these strong feelings about they shouldn't be staying in this abusive relationship. And then we work in this job where they overwork us and we don't stand up for ourselves. We're always saying yes. We work 80 hours and get paid for 40. And, you're just in this abusive relationship with your job. but you don't see it that way because you're seeing out here and you're like, oh, this is different, but it is an abusive relationship. And this mirror is there for you to see how you are allowing yourself to be abused in your life, how you're not standing up for yourself and freeing yourself. So that's kind of like an example. Of course, this is a general reading, so that's not for, everyone. If anyone, it's just an example. So we're also going to use these Light Seers Tarot and see what else they would like to give us detail on with this. But it is very much this mirror reflecting back for us. So let's take a look one more time here. All right. So for those that chose reading number 2, what else? Okay. So they do want that one, then that one, and then that one. What else? Okay, they do want that one, and then they want this one on the bottom. This is kind of like a hidden thing. So this could be like the mirror that we're not seeing. So we will look into that. And then we're also going to pull a card here from the Oracle of the 7 energies, sorry. And we'll get that one out here, and then we'll look at the remainder of the cards here. All right, so what else would you like those that chose reading number 2 to know, please? Nope. None of those, they said. Okay, stop right there. All right, so we'll start with this one right here. And you have the Queen of Wands. So this is a very great card because the Queen of Wands is allowing you to really get a hold of your energy and really understand that whatever you focus on is what grows in your life. She's a very confident, bold person that lights a room up when they come into the room because they are very much aware of their energies, and they are also, I think they usually have a little black kitty right here, which represents your connection to the spirit world as well. So you have this great intuition and this gut instinct that you have, and this wonderful connection to the spirit realm where you, when you question something and you're unsure, you ask and you get answers. Like you're walking in a giant maze that has huge walls, and you reach a point where you either have to go left or right, and you just dial up the eye in the sky and say, which one's from my highest experience? And they're all hang a right, and then you're like, cool. So where this is coming in is they're saying that, you have such a great connection in your life in so many different areas, but this one is one that you're not seeing. And if you ask them, they will reveal it and show it to you. We're going to get some more detail here when we get to this, what's unknown here. But I love this because they're saying, you are usually so super aware of what's going on in your life, but this is kind of like an elephant in the room where it's been there so much of your life that you didn't see it, and you just got used to it. It blends in now. But this is a huge, beautiful place because that guilt that you're feeling for yourself that's been projected on someone else, this is going to help free you in such amazing ways. I love it. Yep, and here's the justice, the judgment, right? And see the mirror effect here. So the little judging scales are coming in, but it's showing the mirror of what's really going on, right? So there's that reflection that you're looking into. So that is them confirming that, it's the one in the one you're seeing in the mirror and seeing those things. So that is them saying, yes, that's right. And here you go, more wands, Knight of Wands. This, all knights go on a quest. And the Knight of Wands is on a quest for the Ace of Wands, which you already have in your hand here. And, when I was talking about, this is one thing that you just haven't seen, happens to us all, because it's been around us forever. We just got used to seeing it, It's like, you're like, hey, blah, 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 where's my glasses? And you're like, they're on your head. And you're like, oh, it's that kind of thing. It's like, it's been there and you just didn't see it. And it's okay, because this action, this movement, this is you wanting to really fine tune and get rid of this last little block that's been keeping you from like making a big leap and stepping into this new power in your life. I kind of feel like it's like gold. You know, when they're purifying it, they turn up the heat and then they have what's called dross. Bubbles up to the top and they scoop it off, and then they turn up the heat more impurities come up and they scoop it off, and then they turn up the heat more and then more comes up. And I kind of feel like that's what's been going on here with you. In fact, it's almost like you're under all these candles. You've been wanting to really fine tune and release so much in your life that you are ready for this. So you're not being offended by this going, how dare you say I'm missing something? You're like, yes, what is it? I want to know what it is, because I know something's been like keeping me from moving forward and I want to release it. What is it? So you definitely are on this quest. And here you are, the Emperor, whether you're male or female or how you identify. This Emperor is about the stability. It's you taking action. It's you taking control over your kingdom. And so, you know, all this beautiful fiery energy coming in here for you is to really turn up that heat to get that last little impurity to make the gold that you are even more, so much more valuable than you ever thought you were to the external world. I mean, you are priceless already, regardless of anything you do, but you're talking about how you're expanding and sharing yourself with the world. This guilt that's been there has been holding you back. Now, drum roll, let's see what this is about here. Yep, 10 of Swords. And this is great. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. All those supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts that you had in your life have virtually exhausted you, and you're so ready to let go of them. What I love about this card is the crows represent all those thoughts and all those things. But when we do this and get rid of all those expectations, look how the whole scene changes to something so serene and something so beautiful. So there's these thoughts and these beliefs in your subconscious that you're not aware of about yourself that have been holding you back and limiting you. And so when you're going back and looking at those things, when you're trying to look back and say, where have I felt like this before? Where's this feeling coming from? Think back and keep thinking back until you get back into like under 7 years old. There's this wonderful, absolutely beautiful book that I read a few months ago called The Presence Process by Michael Brown. And it is all about getting into our subconscious, to our little inner child that has these things that have been just so impacting it. And it's been echoing and echoing and echoing for so long. I kind of feel like that's what's going on here. And this echo, what happens, which is beautiful, is like our little inner child self has these charged emotions from very young. And when we start to develop, we develop emotionally from like in the womb till 7 years old. And then we start developing our mental from like 7 to 14, then our physical 14 to 21. But when we start going into the mental place, we kind of push our emotional inner child self down into the cellar and sacrifice it to fit in with all the expectations and all these things that so we don't get rejected by the world and the people in authority and everything over us. So, but that little 7, the little emotional side of ourselves still has these charged emotions that are bouncing all around in the cellar, and it will continue to echo those feelings out to us going, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, kind of like a little child tugging on someone's shirt or sleeve going, Mom, Mom, Dad, 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 Mom, Mom, Mom. You're like, what? But they'll continue to echo those out until we deal with it. And when we're getting closer and closer to wanting to do that, our mind can only handle so much. It starts bringing in messengers from the outside, mirrors to us on the outside to reflect back to us what it's wanting us to really look inward and go through. So if that resonates with y'all, be sure to check out that book. If I remember, I will throw it down in the description box below a link to the book, but it's an amazing, life-changing book. I mean, it just was wonderful. So you think about that for you. And then the last card you have here is card number 11, in perfect harmony. 11, 11. So that being in harmony with yourself, being in harmony with your mirror, right? Let's see what message comes with this, though. So this is about togetherness, healthy and harmonious partnerships, commitment to a relationship, collaboration with others, and interdependence. You're entering a time of healthy, harmonious partnerships. Collaboration is key here as you're invited to explore the potential inherent in making a commitment to another person, a group, or even yourself. Know that you're bringing different gifts to the table. You don't have to be in the exact lockstep with everyone else. Being your authentic self actually brings you into alignment with others. You are a note in a harmony that neither overpowers nor is overpowered by any other. Your beautiful interdependence allows you all to shine. Just keep an eye out for a sign that your subconscious, which has been conditioned by your previous hurts and experiences, is working in a way not in accord with what your healthy self intends. Can't make it up. For example, you may desire a relationship but expect to be betrayed, so you unconsciously sabotage it. You say you want to lose weight but continue to eat compulsively and avoid exercise. In these moments, you're not attuned with yourself, and this disharmony spills out into all other parts of your life. If this is happening, you might want to take a hard look at yourself, do a self-inventory, forgive yourself, and then start singing a new song of self-love and acceptance. What's really great about this is how quickly you are now able to turn this around. Have no fear. It is so easy to get back in tune. All it takes is self-honesty and a willingness to heal. You can do it. This really is such a fortunate time. You can't make it up. We're just talking about all that. All the stuff in the subconscious, all the stuff spilling out. So, but this is this harmony that you can get back into very easily, like it said. So I love this for you because this is what you're wanting. You're wanting to remove those last obstacles. And look, it's a golden tuba. Is that a tuba? I think so. So a golden instrument, which we're talking about, the dross and the gold. So this is what you're wanting to head toward. And I love that you are so ready for this, to really, you're on this quest for it, and this recognition and understanding of what is holding you back, of all these emotions, this guilt that you were feeling for maybe it was guilt for not allowing yourself to feel the feelings that you had back then. Whatever those guilty feelings that little child self is feeling is what you're getting to, because they'll continue to echo out and continue to show up in the outside world until it gets your attention. So I love this for you because it is going to be freeing for you. So best of luck for that, because I can see so much freedom that comes from this, this peaceful walk along the beach instead of being attacked by crows. Now, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these videos, I also put out weekly energy updates for each individual zodiac sign, monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then by subscribing and pushing on that subscribe button, it's going to give you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, there's an all option. When you click on it, then you'll be notified of any new videos that do come out on my channel. Now, doing those things also helps spread the Zen love, and it does help my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share one of my videos and you comment on one of my videos, if you subscribe to my channel, Doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy happy. It wants to share the videos of this channel automatically with a lot of other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I am very, very grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and my recorded personal readings actually come with a sliding price scale, which means for each of the different types of readings I offer, you actually have a choice between 3 different price points. So you can choose one that's in more alignment with your budget at the time, and it gives you that flexibility. So if you're interested in any of that, it's all listed in the description box of this video below. All right, all of you that chose number 2, as you go through this wonderful adventure, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing journey. I'm sure we'll be talking very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care. If you chose reading number 3, which is this beautiful blue feather, then this is the reading for you. I'm going to put that right there. And as I mentioned, we are going to be asking our shadow what they would like us to know about our guilt. And our shadow is like our tour guide in this giant amusement park of fear riding. So it knows what's going on behind the scenes. It knows what's going on underneath the surface. So it's able to bring information to us that we may not be aware of or conscious of. So we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Soul Truth cards. And just see what area of our life, or where is that guilt bouncing around down there, so that we could possibly set ourselves free. All right. So for those that chose reading number 3, Shadow, what would you like us to know, please? All right. So you have the Am I Willing? And then I'll read this to you. I'll show this to you. Sorry for any glare there. And it says, you are on the edge of something great. Can you feel it? Yes, there is a risk, uncertainty, and imperfections ahead. Failure is certain, and vulnerability is a requirement. You must be brave and trust yourself more than ever before. You will reach the dream, but you must stretch yourself into a whole new level of belief and willingness in order to move forward with courage. Today's soul action is be brave, follow your heart's compass, and lift the lid on your own dreams. Today's mantra, it's possible. Now, what I am picking up from here, and we will get clarification as we go through here, of course, but this, am I willing? Are you willing to, I want to say admit guilt, but are you willing to approach that subject of which you feel guilty about with the person for which you feel you have wronged? I know, but this is not so much if you're right or if you're wrong, but what do they have? What is that saying that says, do you want to be right, or do you want to have a relationship with that person? This is an obstacle. This is a block that's standing in between you. We will find out more here. We're going to use these power of surrender to get more detail and see what else they would like you to know. What else does your shadow want you to know about this? And it can be with someone who has passed. It doesn't necessarily mean it's someone who's still living that you want a relationship with now, but we still have a relationship with all our loved ones that go to the other side. It's just not with that character they were playing here anymore. It's with this beautiful higher being. But there is this block, this thing, they're showing me this knapsack full of rocks that you're carrying around, and it is exhausting. It is limiting you. It is making you feel heavy, and I feel like you're ready to let it go. Yeah, surrender to setting limits. And this says, it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. So this is great because, one of the things that comes up with, am I willing to forgive others too? So it's going both ways here. Are you willing to ask for forgiveness? And are you also willing to forgive? Because when we hear forgive, we usually hear, I'm letting them off the hook. They're just going to do it again, blah, 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 right? We fear that's what's going to happen. But it really is about us drinking poison and going, haha, now you're going to feel sick. Oh, why does my stomach hurt? It's only impacting ourselves. And so this willingness, I enjoy carrying these rocks around in my knapsack. It's making me feel really strong, but also wears you out, right? So I feel like this is where this is headed too, the both sides of, are you willing to ask for forgiveness? Are you willing to forgive? We're going to use these Light Seers Tarot, and we're going to see what else they would like you to know about this situation here. But, we never have to forget. And then, like it said here, we're able to put up boundaries. We're able to learn our power of no and not give in. And, if that's what we're afraid of, then we continue. We start off not actually contacting them and playing it out in our head, talking about, trusted individuals about what you want to do, how you want to approach it. And you start learning boundaries, smaller boundaries, if you feel that you can't have boundaries with the dragon in this scary story, right? You start working your way up to the dragon by starting off small before you can approach that subject, maybe. All right, so what else for those that chose reading number 3, please? What else would you like them to know? Okay, they do want this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. All right, so all 5 here. We'll start with this one over here. Yeah, so we have the mirror here. And swords is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And you can see how you're looking into this mirror and you're realizing it's your own thoughts that are blinding you, binding you, and keeping you trapped. So this awareness that's coming through all this is that you're like, yeah, it's me that is that it's impacting, and this is super scary. I don't know if it looks like it to you, but these look like the exact same person to me. So I'm like, whoa. 2 different authors, 2 completely different decks. So I love that synchronicity. I almost got chills. Woo! So this is definitely you looking into this mirror, understanding what it is you want to forgive, what you want to be forgiven of as well. Yeah, because Ace of Cups, you're ready for higher love. You're ready for a love that is without restriction, without condition. And you are doing this inner work. The chalice, this holy grail, this Ace of Cups, is the unconditional love of the creator of all things, of the higher realms. And, all these restrictions, all the swords are small t truths of the human side. All those expectations of who you're supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be. Who someone is supposed to be, should be, needs to be, have to be, must be. And we hold people accountable and we feel we hold ourselves accountable. And there's this freedom that comes in connecting to the unconditional love of the higher realms, because we realize that unconditional means not even one condition, because that's all it takes to make something from unconditional to conditional is one condition. And you're connecting to this higher love of the spiritual realms, which is allowing you to see what is important. And you're not judging yourself so harshly because you're not keeping yourself bound to all these old thoughts and these old beliefs any longer. You're connecting to higher truths. Let's see what else we have here. Yep. Another 8. So you have the 8s. 8s are about moving to another level, and the 8 of Cups is about leaving behind those emotions that no longer serve you. They have served you for a time, because you did come down here to feel like what it might feel like to be guilty or unforgiving or resentful or fearful or angry or bitter or betrayed, all those delicious emotions. But you're ready to leave them behind. You've been doing this little ritual, putting them in a bowl and burning it, which is a very cool ritual to do sometimes when you're wanting to release old things, is you write how you felt you were wronged or how you wronged someone else. and you release it through this action in the physical world, and it helps you leave it behind as you move into the next phase of your emotions, which is the Nine of Cups, by the way. Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's moving to this new level, and I feel like you are so ready to put down that bag of rocks. And here's the Knight of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your inspiration, your overall energy. The Knight of Wands is major, major energy, and the Knight all have a quest, and the Knight of Wands quests for the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is this realization of you taking your power back, knowing that you control what emotion you choose in every moment, also what story you apply to anything in any moment. Whatever you focus on grows in your life. So if you're focusing on things that were done to you or things that you did to others, that just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow in your life. But instead, if you do this ritual to release that energy returns back to you. And so there is this big fire of energy that comes back, and this realization of the power that you hold in your life for you. So I do love that. And then you have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is a great card because Pentacles is about how you relate your worth to the outside world and just your abundance overall. And the King has been through it all, having been through the entire suit of the Pentacles. And whether you're male or female or how you identify, you can have this divine masculine energy, because we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energy. But one of the big lessons the King learns is when he looked outside of himself for his worth, he felt unstable. When he defined himself by relationships, when he defined himself by situations like work, education, social status, circumstances you can get in, or of things, your body, your bank account, your possessions. All those things he felt unstable through, and because they are unstable. Because think about it, relationships, people change or they pass away, so relationships are not stable. They're not eternal. Situations never stay the same. And of course, things, our bodies, everything breaks down, deteriorates, is stolen, catches on fire. So all those things do feel unstable. And so when we define ourselves by them, we feel unstable. But he learns that when he turns inward, he finds this Ace of Cups. He finds the unconditional love from above that is eternal, that has no conditions, so you can't lose it. And so he found something that is stable, that he makes the center of his worth, and that is this solid feeling. Then he feels stable in who he is and who he sees everyone else as well. So I love that for you. And then your final card here, we're going to pull from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And let's take a look here. One more time. All right. So what's your final message for those that chose read? Okay, that one right there. And you have a Grand Symphony, card number 27. Beautiful. Put that right here. And let's see what that says for you here. So the energy of this card is inclusivity, being part of the whole, removing bias, seeing the interconnectedness of all, knowing that everything you do has a consequence, unity, consciousness, and the end of division. As human beings, we have a tendency to see ourselves as separate from others. This perception is the root of the cosmic joke played on us all. Although our five senses and intellect can help us manage our experience in the material world, and intuition helps us navigate the invisible, we will struggle with the issue of identity and how we fit into the whole, like we were just talking about. You're facing a paradox today. You need to focus on being your unique self, for only you can bring your own special harmony to the symphony of the world. But equally, you need to learn to be selfless and put we before me, seeing yourself as part of the consciousness that unifies us all. You're being invited to take a step back and see the bigger picture until your individual part on the world stage disappears and blends with the glory of all life. It's true that who you are and what you do counts in far-reaching ways. Consider this, though. When you listen to music, it's the whole, not any single note on its own, that makes the song come alive. So today, ask yourself, can you be part of something bigger? Can you put the principles and needs of the group above your own wants? Can you fully embrace the concept of unity in diversity by celebrating all the notes in the symphony? If so, then you will indeed be wise, and whatever you are dreaming about will be fulfilled beyond your wildest hopes. It's time to do your part to sing in harmony with others. Stay in tune and learn the new harmonies and notes. Such sweetness will arise. Wow. So we talked about, are you willing to ask for forgiveness? Are you willing to forgive? That's what it's saying here, right? Are you willing to do your part for the whole, right? Wow, I love it. Can't make that up. A beautiful, beautiful message here. Knowing that you're not giving away yourself. You're just freeing yourself. And there's a lot of freedom that's coming in through all of this, putting that giant knapsack of rocks down, helping that other person take the knapsack of rocks off of their back. And then you're both able to go in so much more distance and do so much more things than you ever thought possible. And I absolutely do love this for you. Now, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these videos, I also put out weekly energy updates for each individual zodiac sign, also monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get updated immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then also clicking the subscribe button gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you will be notified of any new videos that do come out on my channel. Doing those things also helps spread the Zen love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like or share my videos, or comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it does want to automatically share my videos with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, please know I am very, very grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings. And my recorded personal readings actually have a sliding price scale, which means you can choose for each of the types of readings between 3 different price points. And so you have that flexibility to choose something that is in more alignment with your budget at the time. So if you're interested in any of that, it's all listed in the description box of this video below. All right, beautiful people, as you go throughout this wonderful, freeing experience, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing adventure. We'll be talking soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.